Happy Friday and happy spring. I couldn't sleep last night because I was thinking about some of the things that I said in my video just yesterday. And I do still really believe that if there's something more difficult or challenging in our lives, that we then might require even more to raise our standards for relationship, job, living environment, whatever it is. But I was thinking, but it shouldn't be just because of that. Like, I should be raising my standards even if, I'm going to say when I'm dancing again, when I don't have the mobility issues, when I'm feeling good and independent and able and to do all the things that right now I'm saying are difficult for me, regardless of whether I am able to do those things or not, regardless of whether there's a challenge or a disability or a weakness or a so-called weakness, that the raising of the standards should not be a lesson that I only learn because I have an autoimmune condition or a mobility issue or because I can't do things as independently as I would like to. How ironically amazing is it that having MS, going through mold toxicity, having this weakness has actually helped me raise my standards. It's not like a cause and effect. It's not that because I have the mobility issues and that then I should raise my standards. We should all raise our standards to what we truly want. Even if a lot of you guys out there don't have any mobility issues or disability or challenges. I mean, we all have challenges, but maybe if they're not so obvious in terms of your day-to-day life, we still have permission, and I encourage to raise your standards. Getting an illness, I've said this before, was not a thing that I believe happened to me to shut me down and make me shrivel up and just say that my life is over. It has done the complete opposite. I believe that it came here to help me set healthy boundaries, to get out of the toxic kind of relationships that I was in, because I thought that I needed to help someone because my life is so good that I should be helping someone. But I had to learn through getting an illness that it's not my job to save someone or to make their life better and then sacrifice my own goodness and the things that my mom, did for me in my life to have me have such a great life. Having an illness taught me how to connect to my body, how to be more connected to my physical self, and to appreciate movement and stillness and pauses and the combination of all of those to create beautiful dances and flow and songs and lyrics and things in our lives that are artistic that sometimes we take for granted, but actually connect us to ourselves and the divine and that natural flow of life. Having an illness has made me so appreciative of time, but at the same time to not get so fixated on time that I don't let things unravel in their own divine timing. That clock behind me is so beautiful, and I love that it's here. But I also love, I don't know if you've noticed, it's stuck on the same time. It's not moving. It doesn't click. It doesn't alert me to like time is going by and I need to like get on time with this or do that or whatever. And I love that. I don't like the sound of clicking of clocks. I it actually somehow like makes me anxious. I haven't worn a watch for years. Thankfully, we have cell phones and I look at my phone for the time, but I actually love how there's something beautiful about when, even in me being sick or like having the stomach flu thing over the past week or so, that it made me slow down and it made me reconsider the things that I felt rushed into, like, oh, I have to decide on the place that I'm going to move into now, and I have to be practical, but no, I want to be inspired. But like, I was so unclear. Even though I was sharing with you what my needs were, and that seemed clear generally, the specifics of like, not how it's going to come about, but how I was going to balance out like this freedom feeling of what I would really want if my situation with my health and mobility and stuff were different. And then balancing that out with like practically what I would actually need to make my life easier. I felt really torn. And when I was deciding on different places, I started having these two different voices in my head sort of saying, no, but you can't really go for what you really want right now because that's going to be impractical and you don't need that space or the worry of cleaning, like figuring out how to clean it or stepping into a bathtub. But then another part of me was like, but you deserve so much and you deserve a really nice place that gets you excited and inspired, and you feel proud if you're inviting someone over. Or and I felt really, really confused. But I love how the universe orchestrated that all perfectly, because it gave me an excuse and permission to say, I need to just rest and not make a decision right now, and not feel pressure to make a decision, and to trust that the right thing will come to me. And there are some things that have happened in the past couple of days that made me feel like something magical is brewing for me. It may be that I end up picking something that I've already kind of looked at and revisit, but I want to make that decision because I really, really feel it. And some things happened in the last day that made me feel really excited about other things. And it reminded me that that's the way that I want to feel. And that's what I deserve, not because I just need to raise my standards because I'm having these mobility issues and health challenges, but because I'm allowed to raise my standards. I'm allowed to have high, beautiful, amazing standards, and you are too. And I hope it didn't sound or come across like I was saying that I'm only allowed to ask for that because of my situation. I think anybody should. And I think that when I'm not in this situation, because my life is going to change, I don't know exactly how or in which direction, but when I'm in a different situation, I still should and will be allowed to, and will remind myself. And if I forget, please remind me that high standards are not a option anymore. Like, I mean, it is our decision on whether we want to have the high standards, but I am not going to make it something that is like on the fence for me. I'm going to make sure I am right now just saying clearly that I am going to maintain high standards for myself regardless of what's happening in my life, regardless of what's happening with my health. And I feel like there were these little things, little moments in the last couple of days, even with a neighbor helping me that I don't really know, and just getting clarity today on, okay, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going next, but I am so going to milk where I am right now because I love this space. I love the way it contains me and holds me. And I'm keeping that vibration going. That's the vibration that I want to ooze and make sure the universe knows that I'm clear that that's what I want. And that is going to attract the right place and people and environment for me. And so I made a couple of decisions today where I kind of said no for now to a place or two and opened up a door to a couple of other places that I'm going to go see. But I think on a bigger scale, I just opened up this reminder and reframed to me that I don't have to, whatever I decide right now does not mean that that's where I'm going to be forever. And it's like I put so much pressure on myself that this is, you know, the ultimate decision. And if I make a wrong decision here, then I'm going to screw up the rest of my life. And I'm like, no, I could be in a place for like another year or a few months or whatever. And I'm going to trust that whatever is meant for me is going to come to me. But my role in all of this is to keep the high vibes, to keep vibrating at this high level. And that means making sure I remind myself that I deserve my standards need to stay high. So that has made things a bit clearer for me, not in regards to like, I can't say exactly where I'm going to be or which place I want to have, but it's made things clearer for me what I don't want. And to when I'm rocky about like, is this the right place? Is that the wrong place? Like, I just tap into how I feel. And if I don't feel that excitement and like this is just even the right place for now, or I don't put everything into it, and I trust that me stepping back from it will open up the right answer for me in the right time. So yeah, I was listening to an Abraham Hicks video this morning, and you know how I was talking about superpowers, and they were saying that replace superpower or power with clarity because they're a similar thing. Get clear on not only what you want, but what you have to offer some place or something or someone else. Because when I walk into a situation and I make a decision on, is this the right place for me? Is this the right person to hang out with? Am I making the right decisions? I think what makes me unclear is sometimes I'm forgetting what I bring to the table. Like, what is it that my reel looks like? If you saw my last video, you know what I'm talking about. Like, if I had a reel of, a movie making reel or whatever to show someone else, what do I have to bring to the table, or what do I have to offer to this place, or what is it that I am going to be vibrating as to bring, the law of attraction to bring me something on the same vibration as me. I need to know for myself, not just clearly what I want in something else, but who I am in myself, so that it becomes really clear for me, like that I can say no to this and yes to this and maybe to this. But in the maybe areas, what helps me decide one way or the other is, how does it make me feel? And I realize that some of the places that I've been going to don't make me feel the way that I think I deserve to feel. And there are some doors that have opened up to me recently that have gotten me more excited and brought back the feeling that I really want to have for a place or an opportunity. So I'm looking forward to finding out what that is. And when I look at that clock, I am reminded that I don't have to make the decision right now. It's all working out in divine timing. And we all, no matter what our situation is, deserve to have high standards. And yeah, thanks for listening. I will definitely keep you updated on what ends up happening. Happy spring. I think it's a beautiful awareness to have on this beginning of spring. Thanks for listening.